Hey kiddos, welcome to our first review for chapter 8. I need you to get a whiteboard and a marker or a piece of paper and a pencil. It's super important that you follow along with us. All right, here we go. Let's get started. So our first question says, what fraction names the shaded part? So on your board or your piece of paper, you're going to write the fraction that names the shaded part, please. The shaded part is black. All right, so if you were sitting in my classroom right now, you needed to have a fraction line because we are writing fractions. At the top is an E, and at the bottom it is a T. Why do we put those? Because the black or the shaded is always what we eat, and the T is always the total. So what do we eat and what is the total? So let's look here. If I look at my shaded parts, I'm going to put me in this corner again. My shaded parts, I should have ate 3 of them. Notice that there are 3 black shapes, so I should eat 3 of them. That's what this looks like. I eat 3. So what then is my total? Well, if I eat 3, I have to count out my total number of pieces. So my total number of pieces is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You should have written on your boards that that fraction represents 3/6, or you could have written 1/2 because I did eat half of that item. All right, kiddos, the next one. This shape is divided into equal parts. What is the number of equal parts? Your answer should be a number. Notice that it did not say what fraction. It says what number. So what is the number of equal parts? Your number of equal parts is 3. You have 3 equal parts. If I count those out, it's 1, 2, 3. No, it did not say the name. If it said name, your answer is thirds, but it said number, so your answer is 3. And again, notice it did not say what fraction. All right, kiddos, let's talk about this one. It says Lincoln bought 15 cars. 1/5 of the cars are red. How many cars are red? Now, kiddos freak out about this. So let me make me bigger. Let me lower this down here. It says that Lincoln bought 15 cars. 1/5 of them are red. Now, when we start, we always start with a fraction. 1/5. And if I have a fraction, I am going to draw a candy bar. So I have a candy bar. Now, everybody should have a candy bar either on your piece of paper or on a whiteboard. I'm going to break that candy bar into 1/5. What does that mean? It means that I have 5 equal parts. So I'm going to do 5 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So on your boards, you should have 5 equal parts. That equals 1/5. It says that Lincoln bought 15 cars. I know that he has a total of 15 cars, which means that every single one of those, I am going to have a total when I am done of 15 cars. So what am I going to do? I need to figure out, well, how many 1/5 of them are red? 1/5 of them are red. So I have to split up those 15 things to show 1/5 of them are red. So I need to split up my 15 things. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. How many of my cars are red? How many cars are red according to my picture? Well, I should have had a total of 3 cars are red. So I have to figure out there, those story problems are very tricky, kiddos. You have to make sure you're drawing pictures if it is a story problem. Let's try another one. 4 friends share 8 pancakes. How much does each friend get? So go ahead and try that on your own. Pause the video, and when you're ready to go over the answer, please unpause. All right, so how do we figure this out? You always start with the food. So I have 8 pancakes. If I have 8 pancakes, I'm going to draw 8 pancakes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you didn't start out with 8 pancakes, my friends, that is what you have to do. You must start with the food always, and these kind of problems start with the food. And then I have 4 friends. Well, the first thing you ask yourself is, can they have a whole pancake? If I have 4 friends, 1 friend, 2 friends, 3 friends, 4 friends, they can have 1 whole pancake. Well, what if I see again, do I have another whole pancake? 1, 2, 3, 4. They can have another whole pancake. So how much can they have? They can have 2 whole pancakes or 4 halves. You could do it that way too, but you always want to look at halves first, or wholes first. All right, kiddos. The shaded part of the pizza shows how much pizza was left after lunch. What fraction of the pizza was left? Write that answer on your pieces of paper or boards. And when you are ready, you can unpause the video. All right, well, you have to look here. You have to ET the fraction. So what is left? What do I eat? I eat the shaded parts. My bottom is my total. How many parts are left? Your answer should have been 1/8. I ate 1 piece. I had a total of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, moving on. What fraction names point A on the number line? Here is point A. Please write a fraction on your board or your piece of paper to describe point A. Remember, number 1, your denominator or the bottom number never changes. What is your denominator? Well, I have a 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. So what is your denominator? Your numerator always counts in order. 0, 1, 2, 3. What's here? 5, 6. Your answer is 4 sixths. Notice my denominator did not change. All right. Landry folded pieces of paper into equal parts. What is the name for the equal parts? A name must be words. So what is the name of the equal parts? It did not say number. It did not say fraction. It says name. So what is the name of the equal parts? The name of the equal parts, well, you have to count the parts. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is the name of something with 6 equal parts? You should have written on your piece of paper or boards, 6. Sixths. All right, moving on. Katie cuts the muffin into equal parts. What fraction greater than 1 names the muffins? So please write on your boards right now your answer. If you're not sure, listen to the explanation, of course, and pause the video until you figure it out. When you're ready, press play. All right, well, how do you do these? These are, can be super complicated. If you've been watching the videos, though, it shouldn't be. So it's a fraction. It says, first of all, it says what fraction? So you have to have a fraction. If I ET the fraction, the E stands for eat. It's all the shaded parts. So let me lower myself here. Eat. What did you eat? You eat all the shaded parts. So I ate 1, I ate 2, I ate 3, I ate 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I ate 9 of those pieces. So what do I write on my fraction? Well, I ate 9 of them. So what's the denominator? Your denominator never changes. And on things like this, it is always the first picture. So I'll say that again. Your denominator never changes. It is always the first picture. So what is the first picture? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. That is what it's cut into. Is this cut into 3 parts? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So my denominator must be thirds because my denominator does not change. It is the same on every picture, and it is always the first picture. 9 thirds should have been your answer there. If you're struggling with that, you're going to want to rewatch that PowerPoint that I've also posted as a video over this lesson in particular. All right, kiddos, 9 thirds. All right, there are 9 school buses. 2 of the buses are empty. What fraction of the buses are empty? So notice it says what fraction of the buses are empty. I have to write a fraction. So on your boards, you should have written a fraction line. We're going to ET the fraction. We are going to eat what they're asking for. What are they asking for? They're asking for the fraction of the buses that are empty. So how many buses are empty according to this story problem? Well, 2 of them are empty. That is what you eat. Well, what is the total? What does it say? It says there are 9 buses. The correct answer there was 2 nights. All right, kiddos. Here, let's see how we do on this one. 4 sisters share 5 apples equally. How much does each sister get? So, what do we start with? What did we say last time? We start with the 5 apples, right? So we're always going to start with the food. So on your boards, we are going to draw the food, the 5 apples. I always tell my kids to draw them in squares because squares are a lot easier to separate out. So I'm going to draw 5 apples. So here's my 5 apples. So you're going to start on these kind of problems. Please always start with the food. Otherwise, it's going to be super, super complicated. All right, now let's look up at our problem here. It says we have 4 sisters. We have to let them share these apples equally. So first you ask yourself, can they get a whole? I have 4 sisters. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can they each get a whole apple? Absolutely. They each got a whole apple. So right now we're at 1 whole. But I have 1 apple left. So what am I going to do? I have to split that apple. How many people are sharing that apple? You're right if you said 4. I have 4 people sharing the apple. So what do I do to that apple to make it fair? Yeah, I have to split the apple up into 4 pieces. That's fair, right? So I'm going to split that apple into 4 pieces. How much will each person get if I have 4 people? Yeah, you're going to get 1 of them. Well, what fraction is that? How many did you eat? I ate 1. What is my total? 4. So 1 whole and 1/4. 1 whole and 1/4, or the answer could have also been 5/4. I will take either one of those. Okay, so I will take 1 whole and 1/4 or 5/4. Both of those would be fine. All right, what about this one? Andy shaded this model. The shaded part shows what part of all the movies he watched were Disney. What fraction of the movies Andy watched were Disney? This one here, this light green, is also shaded. Okay, so what is your fraction there? Please write that down and we will check. All right, so your fraction, you should pause the video. If you're not ready, go ahead and pause right now. If you're ready, we're going to go over it. So how many did you eat? So that's the question. You should have ET the fraction. We ET the fraction. E is what we eat. It is the shaded part of the fraction. The T is the total. How many total spaces did we have? Well, here's our answer. We would eat 4 6. I ate 1, 2, 3, 4. I ate 4 of them. I had a total of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 6. All right, kiddos, here we go. Katie uses 16 beads to make a bracelet. 1/4 of the beads are pink. How many beads are pink? All right, so how are we going to attack this problem, do you think? Well, it says 1/4. When you have a fourth, a fraction in a story problem, you are going to draw a candy bar. So I have 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to draw the candy bar. How many equal pieces is in 1/4? 4 equal pieces, right? We're going to split this into 4 pieces. So split it into 4 pieces, everybody. Then let's look at our problem again. Our problem says Katie uses 16 beads to make a bracelet. 16 beads. So it's telling me that I used a total of 16 beads. A total of 16 beads. All of those I used a total. But 1/4 of those beads are pink. I got to figure out how many are pink, right? I got to figure out how many are pink. So I'm going to split them up. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Well, how many of those are pink? How many are in my first box? Here's your answer. You should have gotten that an answer of 4 are pink. Now notice it did not say what fraction. Your answer should never be a fraction unless it says what fraction or we're splitting up food. All right, kiddos, here we go. Let's try another one. Lincoln bought baseball and basketball cards. 3 of them are worth a lot of money. They are 1/3 of the cards that he bought. How many cards did he buy? All right, this one is a little bit different. Okay, it says how many cards did he buy? We don't know. We don't know the total number of cards. But what we do know is that it has a fraction. In the story problem, there's a fraction, 1/3. And that is how we are always going to start. So we are going to draw a candy bar. We're going to draw a candy bar. Everybody draws their candy bar. 1/3. What does that mean? 1/3. If I am going to split this candy bar into 1/3, how many equal parts? 1/3 should be 3 equal parts. So split that candy bar into 1/3. All right, kiddos, let's look back at our story problem. Let me put me in the down here. So I did the 1/3. It says Lincoln bought baseball and basketball cards. 3 of them are worth a lot of money. How many cards did he buy? So let's look at our paper. Here's my candy bar. Do I know how many cards altogether he bought? No, I have no idea. I have no idea how many he bought. Okay, but I do know that 3 of them cost a lot of money. But I'm trying to figure out, well, how many cards did he buy altogether? 3 cost a lot of money, but how many did he buy altogether? Well, the thing about fractions is this, is that everything must be equal. So if this box has 3, what does that mean about this box? That means this box has to have 3 too. And if that box has 3, that means that this box has to have 3 too. So how many did he have altogether? I know that's backwards for you kiddos. So how many did he have altogether? Add those up. If you have a hard time adding, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He had a total of 9 cards. A total of 9 cards. All right, kiddos, let's see what else we got here today. All right, moving on. Here we go. We got a hard one again. Each shape is one whole. What fraction greater than 1 names the parts that are shaded? So it says which fraction? Which fraction? So our answer must be a fraction. It must be a fraction. So first set up your board for fractions. Okay, how are we going to label this, kiddos? What do you think? Well, it's a fraction. So the first part is what did you eat? The second part is the total. So let's look back here at our paper here. How much did we eat? Well, you count them. If you don't count them, you can't figure out how many you eat. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's saying that I ate 12 of those pieces. So that goes in the eat part. That is 12. That is 12. Okay, well, what's my total? Well, what's the rule in fractions, my friends? The rule in fractions is that the denominator never changes, and it's always the first picture. So what is our first picture cut into? Well, our first picture is cut into 1, 2, 3. And if the denominator never changes, 1, 2, 3. If the denominator never changes, 1, 2, 3. And if the denominator does not change, 1, 2, 3. So what is your denominator? Well, it's the first picture, and it never changes. So our denominator is 3, 12 thirds. You should have gotten an answer there of 12 thirds. All right, kiddos, here we go. Landry walked around the neighborhood 3 times for a total of 1 mile. Today he wants to walk 2/3 of a mile. How many times will he need to walk around the neighborhood? One thing is, does it say what fraction? No, in that problem it says how many times. It does not say what fraction, so your answer should not be a fraction. Well, let's talk about this here. If I walk 0/3 to 1/3, I walked 1 time around my house. If I walked 1/3 to 2/3, I walked 2 times around my house. If I walked 2/3 to 3/3, I walked 3 times around my house. But today, Landry wants to go 2/3. So how many times would he have to walk to his house? If he wants to go right here at 2/3, how many times does he have to walk around his house? Well, 0 to 1 is 1 time. 1 to 3 is 2 times. So he would walk around his house 2 times. Together, Andy and Katie make up 1/5 of the people on their soccer team. How many people are on their team? Well, this one, they gave you a picture. That's nice. So here's 2 people. In fractions, everything have to be equal. If there's 2 here, how many have to be here? 2, right? And how many have to be here? 2. And how many have to be here? 2. And how many have to be here? 2. So how many people are on their soccer team? Count those up, press pause, and when you're ready, go ahead and press play. Your answer there is 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right, kiddos. Andy shaded the model to show the amount of the sandwich that he ate. What fraction of the sandwich did he eat? All right, write your fraction. Top is what you eat. The bottom is the total. All right, kiddos, on your boards, you should have written 1/2. He ate 1. There's a total of 2. All right, kiddos. Katie ate 3 whole pizzas. What is the fraction of the pizzas that she ate? First of all, notice that it says what fraction. You should set up your fraction like this. Now, after I set up my fraction, I should label it. The top of a fraction is what we eat. The bottom of a fraction is the total. So what did we eat? Well, let's look at our picture here. What did we eat? What did we eat, my friends? How many did we eat? We'll count them up. Count them up. What'd you get? Well, I would eat. Who has the right answer? Who has the right answer? I would eat 12 of them. If you counted those up, you should have got a total of 12. Okay, well, what's my denominator? Well, let's talk about this again, okay? It doesn't hurt to hear it again. Number 1, the denominator does not change. Number 2, it is always the first picture. So number 1, the denominator does not change. And number 2, it is always the first picture. So what is your denominator? Well, first picture, 1, 2, 3, 4. The denominator does not change. 1, 2, 3, 4. The denominator does not change. 1, 2, 3, 4. So our denominator there is 4. You should have had an answer of 12 fourths. 12 fourths. All right, kiddos, let's see what else we got. All right, that's it. I know that was long, kiddos. I know these reviews are long. What I would do is I would do a review. I would go take like a 10-minute break. Okay, 10-minute break. Come back and do the next review. I know these are super long, but we want you to be super successful. So please, go take a break, go run around, go do something, go get a snack, do something, and then come back and let's get busy with another review. We'll see you later, kiddos.